Hey everyone, I'm Nic LaRue from FilmSnobbery, and I'm here covering the Slamdance Film Festival, far away from Slamdance. I'm on the other side of the country, but that doesn't mean we can't talk to some great filmmakers. So I'm going to throw it over to them right now. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves and let's talk about the film The Bitcoin Car.
Thanks, Nick. It's really great to be here and to meet you. So I am Trygve Luktvasslimo. I'm the director, writer, and producer of the Bitcoin Car.
And I'm Rasmus West, DP of the Bitcoin Bar.
Fantastic. I've had a chance to watch some of the movie. I'm literally in the middle of it right now. Everything's happening so fast. But one thing I really like is I always like musicals, and you don't see enough of them in the indie space.
Hmm.
So it's really cool when you get to see one. Um, First question I have is, first of all, how are you enjoying your time over at Slam Dance? It's a fantastic festival. Are you guys having a good time?
Really, really wonderful. I think it's the perfect size somehow because you get to kind of feel that you get to know the organizers and the other filmmakers. It's like a perfect size, and then you meet people again, right? They don't just like disappear into a huge crowd. So it's really, really good. And the
Yeah.
second thing I think that's really amazes me is like the density of people here that are so involved and invested in film. Everybody we meet, they've actually seen it or they want coming to see it, and we got a ton of reviews already. So, like, I mean, we're being spoiled here.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. And actually, it's great that I have each of you is from actually a different country, because I rarely get to ask people from. I talk to a lot of people from the UK. I talk to a lot of people from Australia, New Zealand, stuff like that. But um, I don't know much about the independent film scene. In either Norway or Sweden. Would either of you like to start and kind of elaborate a little bit of like what is independent film like there, or is it because it's so far removed from like the industry, is it all independent film?
Well, in Sweden, there's a lot of shorts going on, so people do a lot of that. But overall, I'd say also the even the major films, budget-wise, are like small size budgets compared to the US. So
Yeah, yeah, and I think also the sort of, let's say, like the indie. I mean, indie film is such a as a big category. It's like such a
Yeah.
big thing, but I mean, like, kind of the divisions, let's say, are different. Like over here, there's you've got this like huge kind of indie film field that just is so inclusive. Whereas, and that's really, really great for us in our film, which is a bit weird, but it's also tapping into, just sort of entertain it doesn't want to be marginal, really. I mean, or not only. So I think, yeah.
All right,
yeah,
cool. No, is it is it kind of seen as, when you're filming anything, whether it's a short, a feature, anything like that, does it feel like the community that you're filming in kind of tends to get involved a lot, or are they supportive, or are they kind of like, who are those weirdos over there with the camera?
No, it's a really great question, and
yeah,
I think that's I'd like, because we're not connected to the cities in Norway. We're like actually based up north in like
yeah.
sort of far away from. There's a film community, and it's very much involved in the local community. I mean, we're all sort of, because, and I think it's because we kind of don't have. It's not, the size isn't big enough, so we don't have, like I don't have a menu of like DPs when I'm making it. There's not, you kind of work with what you got. So it brings out this creativity and this sort of precious connection. Very, very. So my film, we shot it in the village where I live. So, with actual neighbors. And I think, like, once you're working in your own community, in your home, you need to take care of your neighbors, because also when you're working, you can't like abuse any relations more than you would normally. So it just sort of becomes this, you get to know the community, they get to know you, so it's just very organic and very, very, very fun. Also the limitations of the place. Yeah.
And, you know, it's, you know, you said, oh, you filmed this kind of in the village you live in, the community you live in, and you know, you can kind of tell in a way, it has a very indie, not indie, but like a lived in real feel, and not like, you know, like you can tell that like the way you're filming it is because, oh, I know that if I film this it's going to look like this, or you know, you know, if I want to get this, you know, this desired effect, like this location is perfect for that or whatever. It just, it has that feel, that personal feeling, you know. um that's fantastic. So is it difficult filming a musical? In as much as, did you have to do a lot of work in post? I know you probably did. You have them sing it, you know, do all the singing and everything on set, and then did they have to like either lip sync it later, or what was the process for doing that?
Yeah, so that, I mean, exactly like you say, because like there's something, you need to do the music before. You need to do the music as early as possible, really. So you need versions of the music. It doesn't necessarily need to be completely finished. It wasn't in our case, but you need versions of the music that are where the vocals have been so yeah, exactly. You need the vocals that you're going to use need to be recorded before you shoot, because when you come up close with the camera, you can see the tiniest little thing is off. So you need to record the real vocals before you shoot, and also of course the tempo and the timing of the songs need to be exact in the. So what we did is like we made demo versions of all the music, and then we rehearsed with that, and then we kind of produced the songs afterwards. You know, put all the synthesizers and all that stuff like in and on top and underneath. But the kind of framework, the skeleton of the music, it was there from the beginning. And I don't think it's not difficult to shoot like that. It's actually an advantage in a way, you know, that you have this kind of thing that's already in place before you when you shoot. So
Right.
it informs the actors, for example. You know, there's so much tone already in the music that
And tempo.
and tempo that, you know, timing, editing, you know, it's all sort of set up.
And
Mhm.
you don't make it easy for yourself either, because even in like the first song in the movie, there's a lot of cuts. And so having to match that exactly to get the tone and the you know, the natural through of the song seems like very interesting. And you know, the way it's shot in general is and I think Rasmus would be the one to ask, you know, because this was not shot kind of like a traditional musical where it's more sweeping, more one camera, you know, one shot type of things. Was it difficult to was it difficult to accomplish that? You know, those kind of things, knowing that there was going to be multiple cuts and this and that, and certain things had to match, so you had to be in certain places for certain things. What was
Yeah,
your process on
we
that?
we had a clear idea of what we wanted, like this whole Hollywood kind of feel, and like a traditional shift in lighting. And so we did a lot of work with that, and just to make it work for each song, basically. So we did a lot of work towards that. But other than that, it's been pretty straightforward, and it was we had a lot of fun with it, you know.
It
So
looks like it would be a fun shoot.
yeah,
You know,
yeah, it
yeah,
was.
Yeah, it was. But then, like, you know, some of the songs are like 5 minutes long, the longest
Yeah,
one. So it was very blocked out. You know, the first minute is this part of the, you know,
yeah,
it's this part of the scene. So we
right.
didn't shoot, you know, all of it. It was very sort of divided. Like first 25 seconds, this angle in the car.
yeah.
Next 10 seconds, no, I don't know. So
Did you have them reshoot the song? Like, were they singing the song in its entirety for each shot, just in case you had to include things after? Or
Uh,
no, a lot of the times we didn't sort of, you know, yeah, it could maybe sound like a luxury to do that, so you have more to edit with, but
right?
also, you know, you spend much more time and you spend the energy of the actors. So
Yeah,
we try to be as economic as possible,
yeah.
really, you know. So
that
we
makes
would squeeze
sense.
as much possible into the days, you know.
Yeah, no, that again, question that just popped into my head in terms of like logistically, you know.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
actually, so speaking of logistics, so I know you've done some um I know you've done some shorts in the past, obviously, but is this your first feature?
Yeah, so this is my first feature. So we pulled you know what we did. We pulled everything together for this, and we sort of wanted to pack it with you know, everything we know, everything I kind of know, and sort of to, because I don't know, I'm thinking of it as a, like a, as a poster ad for the next project also. So
Absolutely.
I mean, if anyone sees it, they should see as much as possible of, you know, what we've got, what we got access to, and hopefully, like, you know, think of us as a fire burning, and then they will come and pour gasoline, and we see what happens.
Norway, I mean, and nothing against Sweden at all, because I love Sweden as well, but Norway is absolutely gorgeous. You know, as far as countries go, I've been lucky enough to travel to some great places, and you know, but have not been to Norway yet, or have I been to Sweden? Geez, I can't even remember. But I haven't been to Norway yet, and but every time I see something that takes place there, it looks beautiful. So yeah, you know, are they very, is Norway as I don't know how it works. Like in the United States, we have permits and all that, and also like in Canada, like the government gives you funding for, you know, certain things, you know, for filming and stuff like that. That also happens over in Australia and stuff like that. Does the Norwegian government or any are there any arts organizations over there that help with getting things together, like film funding and stuff like that, to make movies?
Oh, oh yeah, there is public funding for film. I mean, not
I could have
there's
said that better, but yeah, yeah.
no, I mean, it's a great question, and it's like the reality of it. But of course, the competition is super tough, also, and you know, we all just want to make our films. But also, like, there's a film commission in the north of Norway that works on getting productions from abroad to come to us and, you know, shoot, film our nature, film, you know, that. But I just like want to say that there's this huge advantage of actually living there, is that, like you said earlier, you know, I for this film, you know, this is my neighborhood, so I can walk around there, you know, 365 days of the year, look at the light, go like, and then like on day 29, I'm like, this, you know, March, in the middle of March, from this angle, this place looks amazing. And you know, when you fly in and to shoot car commercials or whatever, you come, or you know, Tom Cruise is coming in, whatever, they don't have that advantage. They don't know things as, like, you know, it's a
As
bit
intimately
more on
as
the
you do.
surface,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Now, it's um, Bitcoin Car is interesting because you seem to also play with kind of like opposing things. So you have a farm kind of in the shadow of a Bitcoin mine. You know, so you have this low tech versus high tech kind of thing. You have, but it's unlikely in terms of your you know, in terms of like not the first kind of enemies that you think about, you know, a goat farmer and a Bitcoin mine. Is Bitcoin even a big thing over in Norway? I know that you can buy Bitcoin in Norway, but I don't, is cryptocurrency like a big thing, a big topic over there?
Yeah, well, yeah, it actually is. And so you're right. So the Bitcoin card tries to, like, contrast, you know, farming, something like nature based sort of primordial sort of things we do, to industry, and so in specifically goat farming, cute baby goats, and cryptocurrency mining, that, like, the opposition there. But it really taps into something very really going on, because Norway's running on, I don't know if you know this, but it's been running on so-called green power. It's like hydropower.
Mhm.
So, and this for 70 years, it's been like, we've had enough electricity, basically, but now we're running out, and there's no, and we just sort of, it takes everybody, it takes society a little bit by surprise, you know, that we're running out. And we're also discovering that there's absolutely no regulation on, you know, how electricity is spent. It's basically an open market. So, and this is, you know, those markets are good for some things, but when you come to a limited resource like that has been, you know, we sacrificed chunks of nature for kind of cheap power. You know, we discovered, you know, 2 municipalities away from where we are, there's a huge Bitcoin mining facility, and maybe more other cryptocurrencies also. But I mean, it taps into that bigger discussion,
Yeah.
like we're running out of energy. What are we going to use it for? Like, what's worth it, and what is actually just throwing it, out the
Yeah, and
out the window.
I mean, overall in the region, there's been a lot of tech industries placing big server halls, etc. Because of the cheap energy and like wind and hydropower.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, and that taps into a lot of just what's going on in even in the film industry right now. I mean, it's a lot of big data, technology, tech bros as we call them, or there's a lot of these big technology companies that are buying up all the studios, or they're creating these mega streaming sites. And what's happening is all of the resources that filmmakers had to get their films out there have all dried up, so and it's really interesting how the kind of the allegory of the whole thing plays on multiple levels. Now obviously, having a film that's made internationally, coming over to the United States, I know how we are here, and I apologize in advance. uh was there ever any worry about how the Bitcoin car, especially like with some of the humor and some of the way the way it is, it's naturally foreign to us. Was there ever any worry that we may not understand it as much as like a hometown audience or a European audience might?
Yeah, well, definitely. We had no idea really, but because we tested it out like nationally in Norway, it's been like screened quite a lot already, so I kind of knew that. But this is another world, and we have a festival strategy to start with. That's sort of where we think North America would sort of, or someone in my team think North America could get it. There could be like a place for us, but we really don't know. But that makes it exciting also.
Yeah.
To see, like, I think humor, like you say, humor is such a subjective and personal thing, but also local and cultural. It's just
Yeah.
sort of really hard to tell. But I mean, we're just really excited to be here to find out.
Yeah.
And people so far in the 2 screenings, people laugh more than back home. So
Yeah.
That's great.
I'm
That's
okay with
good. No, and I know that Slamdance and part the people in Park City in general are just so receptive and wanting to be involved in that film going experience. And we like to say sometimes like, oh, that's a safe audience. But and I say that in a positive way, especially when it's your first feature or your first film out there. I think that having that positive reinforcement right up front is one of the best things you can have, because it gives you a little bit of that confidence going forward to those other festivals and stuff. Do you know where you're going to be taking this after Slamdance, or are you still kind of working that out?
we are there's nothing I can tell you at the moment, but we got an idea. Wink.
Gotcha. Um, that's fantastic. No, that's fine. I mean, do you have any hopes of, I know you said you want to use this kind of as a calling card type of thing. Do you want to, is the plan to kind of get this distributed out there in some way and then kind of start the next? Do you already have the next thing already in your head ready to go?
Definitely, I think both those things, and they kind of run hand in hand. Like we've been approached by a few, distributors, and say like it's very exciting. I think that's thanks to Slamdance and the intensity of this place and all the good people that are here. Um, but yeah, at the same time, it's like we have some ideas for new projects, like maybe one each, one together.
Yeah.
And as always, so so it means we have something to talk about when we when we meet people.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah.
Have you folks had the chance yet to see the great part about going to like Park City around this time is everyone says, "Oh, all the celebrities." Well, the great part is like you're the celebrity right now. You guys are the celebrities because you have that filmmaker badge on.
Yeah.
But have you had a chance to chat with other filmmakers, or have you seen or gotten to talk to any celebrities while you've been there? And because you can't come to the United States and come to something like this and not go home with like some kind of story.
That's true. Well, okay, so I mean, the high profile celebrities. Okay, so there's Slamdance and there's Sundance, and
Yeah.
I went to Sundance myself one morning, just by myself, like undercover. So I no, I actually went to.
You're not cheating on Slamdance. It's okay.
No, they also go hand in hand. So yeah, I went on the celebrities, but there were also I went to a panel at the Cannon House, and there were first time filmmakers, all of them, and it's just also such a generous place to be, and so useful and interesting to hear people. And I think, you know, when we're here with the film ourselves, it just activates us, so we're like more open, you know, because we're in like an active state, if you know what I mean.
Absolutely. No, and I love your energy. It's you sound just so positive about the experience, and it makes me wish that I was there this year, but maybe next year. At least next year I'll have a book to promote, so that's good.
Oh,
Uh,
cool! Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it. But you know what? I don't want to hold you guys up. You guys, I'm sure, have plenty more things to do before you get hop back on a plane. So I don't want to hold you up, but I want to say thank you so much for sitting down and taking some time to talk with me about the Bitcoin car. And I hope that if anyone gets an opportunity to check it out anywhere on the festival circuit while you're out there, I think they absolutely should, because the amount I've watched so far, I've had fun. And that's a rare thing with the movies. I'm having fun.
Okay, then we have achieved something really, really great. I mean, putting a smile on people's faces is just a beautiful thing. And thanks for taking the time to talk to us. Yes, we'll be running on, having more fun, but it's really
Yeah.
great to talk to you, Nick.
Thank you. Yep. Have a good one, guys.